Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing today? Yes, I am eating cashew butter directly out of the jar this morning. If that doesn't say it's 2020, who gives a f? I don't know what does. And today I wanted to walk you through some of the habits that I have curated, changes that I've made, mental shifts that I've made in 2020 that have helped me, I feel like, overall get to a healthier place, both mentally and physically. But we'll get to that in a bit. For now, I'm just gonna eat a little bit more cashew butter. I think there's a cat that's trying to get in. Excuse me. Ernie, welcome. Ernie has come to say hello. Hi. Fine. So I'm eating cashew butter this morning just because I woke up kind of hungry. It's been like, I don't know, an hour and a half since I woke up. Still hungry, and I have literally no other food, like nada. This wasn't exactly my first choice, but it was my only choice. It's actually really good, so I'm not complaining. Going grocery shopping is one of the top things on my to-do list today, so I will show you guys my grocery list, bring you with me. But I wanted to do yoga this morning, and I don't like working out after I've eaten something. I knew that if I waited, went to the grocery store, and then came back to do yoga, I would, at that point, just like need a full-on meal, and then I wouldn't do yoga. So I was like, okay, I need a snack. So we got our snack. So that said, I'm gonna lick this spoon clean and then do some yoga.
Always come when I need you. You know I'll be there for you. Where are you now? Where are you now? Always try my best for you. You just know it is true. Where are we now?
That was such a good flow. Just the right amount of challenging. Exactly what I felt like I needed this morning. Since you guys always want to know, it was of course yoga with Tim again. Morning yoga workout, flow, strength and stretch. This is good. The first like big thing that I changed in 2020 that I think has genuinely been one of like the biggest game changers for me has been doing more yoga. It has kind of been a huge paradigm shift. As I'm sure you all can relate to, with gyms being closed down, I've had to find new ways of moving and new ways of exercising and just new ways of keeping my body doing the fitness thing. And quarantine resulted in me getting more into yoga and making it more of a regular practice in my life. And in the last month, I have done more yoga than lifting. Now, I'm not giving up lifting. I'm not saying lifting was bad for me at all. Obviously, it's an amazing exercise. I'm not saying I prefer one over the other, one is better than the other, or anything like that. Just, I think for me, before this, I felt like if I wasn't lifting, it wasn't like a real workout. Like, I've always valued other kinds of movement. There's many different kinds of exercise, and they're all great, and they all have their different benefits, and they all can help you achieve different goals, and yada, yada, yada. I certainly never, like, looked down on yoga as less exercisey, but until 2020 happened, I never really saw it as something that could or would be part of my fitness lifestyle. Like, I kind of always just thought that I would be lifting for exercise no matter what. And in shifting to doing more yoga, it's opened up a whole new world of exercise for me where, you know, I no longer prioritize lifting heavy things as being the way to work out, but just movement. Like, getting in movement. Practicing handstands has been one of my absolute favorite ways of moving lately. I recently discovered that swimming in the ocean is cardio that I actually genuinely love. It's just expanded my mental vocabulary of what a good workout really entails and means to me. So really happy that I've started doing yoga. I feel like I've been able to connect to my body in new ways, and my mobility is so much better. Like, I am so much more flexible, so much more mobile, which in turn is going to help with lifting too, which is great. Don't know why I'm still on the floor, but I started working on my grocery list so that I can go get food, make breakfast, eat. I think it was like 2 weeks ago I walked you guys through my how I grocery list create, how I create a grocery list. I have my staples that are always on my list, and then I pop on some other things, sprinkle in some variety. So I'm just gonna throw my little grocery list up here so you can see what I'm getting. The things that are in pink are the things that are non-standard. On my way to the grocery store, and while I drive, I'm actually going to be doing something else that is one of the other big game-changer-y things that I made a shift in 2020, and that is educating myself about the menstrual cycle. 2020 is the year that I came off of hormonal birth control after being on it for 6 years, and as such, I have been doing everything that I can to educate myself about what my body is like without hormonal supplementation. If you're curious about why I came off of hormonal birth control, I have a whole video talking about all of the side effects that it can have on your body, so I will link that down in the description box below if you want to look into that. But for right now, what I've been really focusing on is trying to learn what a healthy menstrual cycle looks like for my body. I did have a normal, healthy, I think, regular cycle before I went on hormonal birth control, but that was a very long time ago, and so I don't really remember. And a lot of what I've been doing to educate myself is listening to a wide variety of audiobooks. You guys know I've already listened to Beyond the Pill, listened to that twice actually. In the Flow was amazing. The Period Repair Manual. Those so far I think have been my top 3, but today I have another audiobook recommendation for you all about the menstrual cycle, and it is called The Fifth Vital Sign. I just started listening to it a couple days ago, so I'm not all the way through it yet, but I have learned so much so far, it's not even funny. It's called the fifth vital sign because, when you go to the doctor's office, they take your pulse, your temperature, your blood pressure, and your heart rate, which are your 4 vital signs, but your menstrual cycle is your 5th vital sign. It is just as vital as all of those other things, and it can tell you so much about your health. So what I'm loving so far about the audiobook is the parts that have gone into what a normal, healthy menstrual cycle looks like, and the different variations that are common but not necessarily normal. And then right now I'm in the part where it's talking about kind of how to chart your cycle to optimize your awareness of it, not just for fertility and family planning purposes, but just to be aware of what your body is trying to communicate through a variety of different symptoms. The big thing is that when most people think about their menstrual cycle, they think about having a period because that's the most visible sign of the menstrual cycle, but your menstrual cycle is the whole month. It is not just your period, and there's so many other things that are happening during those other times that are so important to tune yourself into and pay attention to gauge the health of your body and of your menstrual cycle. And there's so many little facets of it that this audiobook goes into that can just teach you so much, particularly around ovulation with the cervical mucus and all of that. Oh my god, there's so much. It's fascinating and mind-blowing and soul-crushingly disappointing that we are not taught this in school. Basically, you guys have been following me along this hormone balancing journey. I know a lot of you guys are on track to balancing your hormones as well, and this is an audiobook that I cannot recommend enough if you're trying to balance your hormones or just learn about your body. Even if you have a perfectly regular menstrual cycle, you don't have any negative symptoms, knowing this stuff it's so important. And as always, this audiobook recommendation is brought to you by Audible because they are the best. They are the main platform that genuinely I have been using with which to educate myself about the menstrual cycle. Most of my learning has come from listening to audiobooks just because it's so much more convenient for me. I don't have a lot of time in my life to just sit down and read. I am very busy, lots of stuff going on, so I like to take advantage of the time that I'm driving, the time when I go on my walks. Lately finally have started incorporating listening to audiobooks as part of my bedtime routine, which I'm actually gonna go into later because that whole thing has completely shifted my life too. So if you want to maximize your information consumption, increase the efficiency of your learning, multitask so that you can learn while you're walking or exercising or whatever, or if you just prefer listening to books over reading them, I highly recommend checking out Audible. And right now, if you go to audible.com/Marissa or text Marissa to 500-500, you will get yourself a 30-day free trial of Audible, 1 free audiobook credit, which you can use to listen to The Fifth Vital Sign or any other book of your choosing. And you will get yourself access to the Plus catalog, which features thousands of more audiobooks, podcasts, Audible originals. They've guided fitness and meditation programs, sleep tracks to get you better sleep. Like, they upgraded this offer by so much. You would be a fool to not take advantage of it. I'm kidding, but like actually though, there's no risk. It's a free trial, so check it out. Again, that is audible.com/Marissa or text Marissa to 500-500. And now that I am sufficiently sweaty in this hot car, I'm literally dripping. I'm gross. I need my groceries because I want my breakfast.
As far as the fruits and vegetables go, I basically got what was on my list. They just didn't have grapefruit, which I'm kind of sad about, but I will get over it. Last time, they didn't have the Coconut Cult cookie dough gelato, and I saw it, so I had to get it this time. This is like literally the best thing ever. Then I saw this new plant milk, and I had to get it just because it looks really cool. I'm probably gonna regret it, but honestly, whatever. It's hemp, chia, and oat milk. Got it in the vanilla flavor, and I mostly got it because as a snack this week, I decided to get some cereal. This is not normally like me, but it sounded good. It was there, so I got it. So I got some milk to go with my cereal, but I also got some other milk to go in like smoothies and stuff. Got some creamer in case I want a latte or a hot chocolate. Got some Theo chocolate bars. Went all out. Got 4 of them. They were on sale, so I'm really excited about that. A little bit of sheep's milk yogurt to throw in my smoothies. Usually I do coconut milk, but I just felt like changing it up. Did get some coconut milk though for the smoothies. Ran out of sauerkraut, so I got me some of that. Got some kombucha. These were all on sale, so I just got a bunch of this brand. Got some unbuns because I decided that I want to make some burgers. Got a little ground beef, chickpea flour tortillas. They're out of the almond flour ones. I usually get the almond flour, but these are delicious. I'm a big fan of this corner of my shopping cart over here, to be honest.
And breakfast is finally served. There wasn't anything in particular that I was really craving today, so I just made a giant egg scramble. Chopped up an entire green onion, cooked that a little bit with some olive oil, added a little bit of ribboned zucchini, thinly sliced zucchini, cooked that, added 4 eggs, and then I was like, this needs a little more texture. So I had some leftover ground beef that I think has some broccoli and something else that was cooked into it. So we got a few more veggies in there with the ground beef. And then just some pepper, salt, nutritional yeast, and I think that's about it. And then I wanted to do tacos, so I grabbed 2 of the chickpea flour tortillas, but I probably should have grabbed a 3rd one because it doesn't all fit into 2, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat this now. I totally forgot to mention that while I was making breakfast, I grabbed a kombucha. I'm like halfway done with it. Probably just gonna finish it off.
Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Come here. What? Bro, we're friends. Okay, hi. This guy's trying to rub his face all over my shoe.
Yes, I'm a crazy cat lady. No, I'm not ashamed of it. My neighbors probably think I'm insane. Not gonna lie, been a little bit less consistent with my evening walks since the sun has started setting earlier and earlier, just because that means I have to leave earlier and earlier to get my complete walk in, and so I'm just like not in the habit of leaving earlier yet, but trying to like establish a new routine at a different time so that I can get my walks in, because I love them so much. They make me feel very good. But that aside, one of the other shifts that I have made in 2020 that has transformed my health and my mindset has been completely letting go of my fat loss goal. If you've been following me for the last year, you'll know that I gained some weight in about February, March. Initially, my goal was just to lose that weight, but that wasn't going too well, mostly because I still had some cortisol imbalances because of topical steroid withdrawal, and then I came off hormonal birth control, so I had a whole bunch of other hormonal imbalances going on, so my body was like, nah, we gotta do this other stuff first. You're not gonna lose any fat right now. I'm not gonna lie, for a little bit, that kind of bummed me out. I was like, okay, but like, I'm not used to having this fat. It just doesn't really feel like me. Can we just get rid of it? My body was like, no. So for a while I had been unknowingly fighting against my body, but then I decided, okay, my body's trying to tell me something. I should stop trying to lose the fat and fix all this other stuff that's going on. So I did that, but I didn't make the mental shift as quickly away from the fat loss goal. Like, I still wanted to lose the fat, and I wasn't giving myself space to be comfortable with my new body that had more fat on it. And so the big helpful shift for me that I learned how to make this year was not how to give up trying to lose fat when I need to, because that transition honestly wasn't too hard. It was learning how to just step back and be like, okay, this is where my body is. I'm going to accept it. I'm not going to worry about it. We're just here, we're chilling. You love your body no matter what. And that's really all that matters. All right, this next thing is kind of tangential to what I was talking about a little bit. At least it was in my head, and now that I think about it, I don't know how much it really relates to what I was just talking about. But basically, I am hungry, so I'm gonna eat because I'm eating intuitively. So when I get hungry, I eat, and it's basically dinner time. So like, it's dinner time anyway. So since I abandoned ship on my fat loss journey this year, I have been eating intuitively, and that is by no means new to 2020 for me. Throughout my fitness journey, I've been on and off with tracking macros versus eating intuitively, and I love doing both. The new part, the change that has occurred sometime in the last few months, has been my approach to eating intuitively. I'm not 100% eating intuitively right now. I'm about 80% eating intuitively right now. In the past, with eating intuitively, I would just eat intuitively. I would eat when I was hungry, stop when I was full. If that meant having 3 meals during the day, I would have 3 full meals. If it meant having 2 larger meals during the day, I would have 2 larger meals. You get the point. I was literally just listening to my body and eating intuitively. But with where I'm at right now, with actively trying to balance my hormones, I am eating intuitively within the guidelines that I have for myself. So instead of like 100% intuitive eating, I'm actively making sure that I'm not intermittent fasting, because naturally I intermittent fast. Like, if I'm 100% listening to my body, I don't want to eat until 4. I'm just not hungry. But I'm also doing things like actively making sure I'm incorporating cruciferous vegetables to aid in estrogen metabolism, and just like doing a bunch of different little things to help balance my hormones. Things that I wouldn't necessarily be doing if I were just 100% listening to my body. So this isn't even necessarily something that I recommend for everyone. Like, if you're not in the place where this is what you want to do or need to do, like, that's fine. But for me, it has made a really big shift in, I think, my health. Like, I think this is one of the biggest things that I've done to help regulate my hormones, restabilize my cortisol, and get my body closer to being back on track. Speaking of eating intuitively, I am hungry, so I'm gonna go make some dinner now.
A few moments later.
Dinner is served. Definitely could have used some extra burger toppings, but honestly, this looks pretty delicious by itself, so I'm not complaining. Massive pile of sweet potato fries, drenched in ketchup, of course, because ketchup makes the world go round. Then I threw on some broccolini just to get in some more vegetables, and that's what we got. I considered making the second patty and making it like a double-double, but honestly, I feel like I got enough protein with breakfast. My breakfast was like pure protein. My body's like, yo, we probably don't need a second patty right now. Besides, I'm leaning towards having more room for dessert. Okay, first of all, those fries that I made for dinner were amazing. Second of all, after dinner, I did indeed have some dessert. I had a little bit, I mean a little over a serving of the cookie dough gelato, which was delicious as always. And now I'm about to start the last and most recent habit that I have been attempting to adopt. This is something that I did start doing fairly recently, so I wouldn't say it's like an ingrained habit yet. Still something that I want to make it a habit. We'll see if I've stuck with it in the next week or two. For the last like hour or so before I want to go to bed, what I've been doing is turning off all the lights in my room and just leaving on the candles, which you can see flickering over there. I have some over there and stuff too, and my salt lamp. So I'll have these lights off. My room will be all dark except for basically like natural light. Then I will throw on some super chill music, have a cup of tea, currently enjoying the Tulsi ginger tea from Organic India. Then I'll just do some stretching, did a little bit of meditating a few times, listening to my audiobook is something that I've been doing a lot. And I've just found that giving myself that like hour or so before I get into bed to really wind down and let my body prepare to go to sleep and kind of get myself more in a chill state, as opposed to going from like hyped up from looking at social media, doing work, whatever, and then straight to bed. I've been able to sleep a lot more soundly. I've been able to sleep longer. Like I've told you guys, my body's been waking me up after 7 hours, but since I started doing this, I've been consistently getting 8 hours of sleep. Could be a coincidence with where I'm at in my menstrual cycle, not sure about that. But I've also just generally really been enjoying it too. Like just being able to take a little bit of the time out of my day for myself is something that I, in general, have been needing to work on. I honestly think that's kind of the biggest thing now that I'm talking through it, is more shifting my mindset towards self-care. In the past, when I've tried to fix my horrendous sleep schedule or try to have some amount of bedtime routine, it's always been for the purpose of getting better sleep. And this time I really approached it like I wanted to take that hour for myself, like as self-care, with a byproduct of helping me sleep better. And that has really, I think, helped me enjoy it a lot more and be more excited for that like hour before bed where I get to just like chill. So I am really hoping that I do stick with this. Pray for me. So if there's any big takeaways from this video for you guys, I hope that one of them is, if you are not currently practicing self-care, aim for like 1 hour a week. 2 hours a week would be great. Set aside time to do something that you love. Exercise doesn't count, just something that's purely for yourself. Also, I recommend experimenting more with different kinds of exercise, even if you love what you're currently doing. Be adventurous, try new things. Also, educate yourself about the menstrual cycle. Listen to the 5th vital sign. Go to audible.com/Marissa or text Marissa to 500 to get your 30-day free trial, 1 free audiobook credit, which you can use to listen to the 5th vital sign. Also, consider working on accepting your body where it is, wherever it is. You can still have physique goals. You can still want to change your body. But if you can also appreciate where you currently are at the present moment, it can make everything a lot easier. And with regards to intuitive eating, experiment, play around, see what works best for you. And with that, I'm gonna go enjoy my little self-care time, flip off these lights, keep listening to the 5th vital sign, finish up my cup of tea, then I'm gonna hit the hay. Let me know down in the comments below what some of the big changes that you've made in this last year have been in regards to health and fitness, and what kind of impact they've had on your life. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please share it with your friends, your family, your neighbors. If you want to see more videos from me all about health and fitness, you can check them out over here. To see future videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell to get notified when I post a new video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.